Hello and welcome to the session on the school timetable. Did you know no institutional planning is complete without a school timetable? Why? The answer is simple. For effective functioning of school and for conducting learning programs in a proper manner, there should be an effective time allotment. And a school timetable helps authorities determine daily allotment of time for each subject and for other co-curricular activities. We can define a school timetable as a plan or chart in a school showing the allotment of time among classes, several subjects and activities. In fact, we can evaluate the functioning of a school from its timetable. In a way, we can consider a school timetable as a mirror that reflects the educational program practiced in a school. In this unit, we will be discussing school timetable in detail and we will learn the following. What is a school timetable? Why do we need a school timetable? Classifications of school timetables. The timetables for double shift schools. What are the limitations of a school timetable? And guiding principles of timetable construction. What is a school timetable? Let us understand the basics first. So, what is a school timetable? The following are a few characteristics of a school timetable that help us understand the concept better. Timetable is a portrait of school in facts and figures. As we have seen earlier, it mirrors a true picture of the school or its organizational activities. The school timetable can be perceived as a tool that can facilitate the functioning of the school in an organized way. A school timetable maps the total activities of school and judiciously organizes each and every one of them, leaving no scope for dissatisfaction for either teachers or students. A school timetable can be viewed as a spark plug when it is functioning. When it is functioning, the entire school becomes lively and all the activities function in a proper way. The timetable acts like a guide, encouraging everyone to act according to the well coordinated plan. Why do we need a school timetable? We have already seen that the school timetable is the backbone of any school. Without a school timetable, no school can achieve its educational goals. Its objective is to provide suitable time for students for different learning programs. We need a school timetable because a school timetable ensures the smooth operations of school. Since every activity is detailed in the timetable, students and teachers can follow these activities without much hassle. In case any reallocation needed, that can also be done easily. School timetable injects discipline into the school with ease, and students and teachers do not need a forewarning to complete their learning tasks. A timetable is an effective tool in preventing wastage of time and resources. It distributes work among teachers and allow each one of them focus on one task at a time, reducing digression and increasing productivity of the resources. It ensures equal distribution of work among teachers by ensuring that no resource is overburdened. It inspires development of good qualities such as discipline, punctuality, steadfastness, etc. It ensures regularity and methodical approach towards work from both teachers and students. A timetable also helps in adjusting school work with the physiological and other developmental needs of students. A timetable is prepared by taking into account the difficulty of the subject and facilities available. Thus, a school timetable is a very important aspect of institutional planning, and there is no wonder that it is known as the second clock of a school. A well designed school timetable can contribute towards the success of both the students and the teachers. Classification of school timetables. The timetable used in a school can be broadly classified into 5: class timetable, master timetable, individual teachers timetable, the checklist and special timetable. In addition to the broad categories, there are other types of school timetable also. In this unit, we will be discussing the following types of timetables: class timetable, the master timetable, individual teachers timetable, vacant period timetable, games timetable, co-curricular activities timetable, homework timetable and special timetable. First, class timetable. There will be separate timetable for each class. The class timetable will show the allotment of each subject to teachers. The master timetable. As the name indicates, it is a master timetable that gives a picture of the overall curricular and co-curricular activities of a school. It indicates the details of works of individual teachers per day. Different sheets can be maintained for each day of the work, or there can be chart containing the activities of an entire week. Individual teachers timetable. Every individual teacher will have his or her own program of sheet. The individual timetable normally includes a teacher's academic and non-academic work details. Vacant period timetable. A special timetable indicating the vacant period of each and every teacher will be also prepared. This special timetable will make reallocation of work when teacher is on leave easy. Game timetable. This timetable shows which class is involved in which game and how is the playground is being utilized, etc. Co-curricular activities timetable. The co-curricular activities timetable should be prepared at the beginning of the academic year. The timetable should include the different types of co-curricular activities the school is planning to conduct, which teacher is in charge of coordination, the place where and when the activities are to be held, etc. Keeping such a timetable will reduce the chances of duplication of labor as well as overlapping. Homework timetable. Homework is an integral part of any learning program. A school cannot achieve its educational goals without encouraging students to do homework. To ensure that the homeworks are putting strain on students at the beginning of every session, there should be a homework timetable in place. The homework timetable should give an idea of how much homework should be allocated to each class or subject during a week. A copy of this timetable should be either given to each teacher or should be put in each class so that teachers can determine the allocation of homework. It is better to send a copy of homework timetable to parents in order to ensure their cooperation. Some schools also follow the habit of keeping a homework book. The teachers can enter homework in the book, and with the guidance of parents, the students can complete the task. Special timetable. This type of a school timetable is designed to cover the following: timetable for outgoing students, timetable for orientation week, emergency timetable which includes timetable for training camps, outdoor and indoor games, holding casual seminars, meetings, discussion, etc., arranging and organizing special functions and festivals, and organizing relief work and other social and cultural programs. Timetables for double shift schools. As there is a lack of space and overpopulation of students, most of the secondary schools and higher secondary schools are opting for double shift. When preparing a timetable for double shift schools, a number of factors need to be taken into account. Duration of each period can be shorter compared to single shift schools, and this factor needs to be taken into account while preparing a timetable. As the time for each period is less and there are number of activities to do, the school timetable should be prepared with extra care. Otherwise, the students will end up going through stress. Limitations and drawbacks of a traditional timetable. The traditional timetable has a lot of limitations and defects. Understanding the defects and limitations of a traditional timetable will help us improve our education system by crafting a better timetable. A few drawbacks of traditional school timetables are given below. In a traditional timetable, the school day is broken into a few periods of 35 or 50 minutes. The time is mostly used to teach important subjects. The traditional timetables with such division might not be able to accommodate co-curricular learning activities. Traditional timetable only promote classroom teaching, which is considered by most as outdated. A timetable with fixed time and place can make learning a monotonous activity for both students and teachers. This makes learning a mechanical activity rather than a dynamic and inspiring one. A conventional timetable undermines the time for teachers' conferences or team teaching. Hence, there is no time for in-service training for teachers. This way, teachers will not be able to master new teaching techniques. A conventional timetable projects a teacher as a ruler or master. It curtails the possibilities of guidance. The relation between teacher and students gets strained most of the time if the school chooses to follow conventional timetable that emphasis on classroom teaching. A school that follows a traditional timetable in effect fails to attain the larger philosophy of education itself. The objective of an educational program is to develop learning programs that integrate personal development and learning. By following traditional timetables that divide learning into bits or pieces, a school indeed is failing to achieve the goal of education. A fixed timetable assumes that every student in the school has the same mental pace and can learn at the same pace. This notion cannot be true, as every child and his capacities are unique. A traditional timetable that divides a school day among various subjects cannot understand the various needs of each child. Thus, adherence to a traditionally fashioned timetable leads to neglecting certain students who require extra care. Taking into account the above mentioned drawbacks and limitations of a traditional school timetable, modern educators advocate preparing school timetable that takes into consideration the uniqueness of each education institution as well as students. The Dalton plan and project methods were suggested as an alternative to traditional fixed hour timetable. John Dewey, one of the great educators, considers education as a continuing stream of child activities unbroken by systematic subjects and springing from the interests and personally felt needs of a child. Having viewed curriculum, modern schools cannot embrace traditional model of fixed timetables. Since every school should keep in mind that timetable is a tool that can be used to attain the objective of education itself, it should never end up dictating the educational goals of a school. A timetable should have scope for revision and it should be approached critically. If situation calls for, the school authorities should be open to make amendments to the timetable based on the unique needs of the school for which it is designed for. School timetables should be dynamic enough to encourage imagination, creativity and overall development of children. It should also offer scope for professional improvement of teachers. Bearing the above mentioned facts in mind, in the next module, we will discuss the principles that should guide the construction of timetable in any school. Guiding principles of timetable construction. From the previous modules, we have learned the importance of school timetable and the types of timetables schools should keep. In this module, we will discuss the preparation of school timetable and the guiding principles of construction of school timetable. Here are a few principles and guiding factors we need to keep in mind while preparing a school timetable. Type of school. When preparing a timetable, we need to take into account the type of school for which we construct the timetable. We need to see if the school is rural or urban, secondary or higher secondary, or if the school is for boys or girls, etc. when making a timetable. Department regulations. The education department imposes certain regulations on the schools. We need to take into account regulations such as the length of the school year, length of period, number of periods allotted for each subject, etc. when preparing a school timetable. Amount of time available. A school timetable should be framed keeping in view the length of school year and the number of holidays in a year. Principle of justice. While assigning tasks to each teacher, we need to ensure that each teacher is assigned the subjects she or he is qualified to teach. He or she does not teach in more than 2 departments and equal distribution of work and responsibility. Relative importance and difficulty value of subjects. The time allotted for each subject in the timetable should be based on the importance of the subject. We also need to take into account the difficulty level of the subject when allotting time in the timetable. Maximum utilization of resources. When planning a timetable, we need to ensure maximum utilization of the qualification and experience of a teacher. Wastage or underutilization of resources should be reduced or avoided. Principles of flexibility. A school timetable should be flexible enough to make adjustments and revisions in case of emergency. Only a flexible timetable can ensure smooth functioning of school. A timetable should have scope of review and improvement as well. Principles of variety. The timetable should be prepared abiding by the principles of variety. This will allow authorities to include a variety of learning activities that are suited for the individualized needs of the students. Principles of adjustability. Principles of adjustment becomes important when we have to include co-curricular and other learning activities to the timetable. The activities should be adjustable to the community and local area the school is based in. This will help ensure community cooperation in the operations of the school. Provision for shorter and longer period. Certain subjects may require longer periods. In such cases, the timetable should have a provision for longer period of certain subjects. Provision for teachers' conferences. The timetable should find some time for conferences which will allow teachers to plan programs for the improvement of the students. Provision for team teaching. The timetable should have a provision for team teaching. Teachers should be able to organize with 2 or more teachers as and when they need to organize such a learning program. In addition to the above mentioned principles, we need to ensure that the timetable is prepared keeping in mind the learning and organizational objective of the school. In a school timetable, there should be a balance between easier and intense tasks as well as physical and mental applications of study. When preparing a timetable, we need to ensure that hard subjects are allotted for the best part of the day and open periods are never best part of the day. Once the momentum is gained, these subjects can be introduced. Second and third periods are ideal for hard subjects such as mathematics, English, etc. Ages of students and physical conditions also need to be taken into account while preparing a timetable. Boiled down to essentials, a timetable should work as necessary tool for ensuring smooth operation of school. Let us summarize what we have discussed so far. In this unit, we have learned how a school timetable can impact the educational goals of a school. To be specific, we have discussed in detail points such as what is a school timetable, why do we need a school timetable, what are the classifications of school timetables, timetables for double shift schools, what are the limitations of a school timetable and the basic principles of timetable construction. We have learned that a school timetable can be defined as a plan or chart in a school showing the allotment of time among classes, several subjects and activities. A school timetable is primarily needed to achieve the educational goals of a school, and there are different types of timetables including classroom timetable, vacant period timetable, individual teachers timetable, etc. We have also discussed how a time bound and classroom oriented timetable curtails the overall growth of children by overlooking the unique needs of each child. Now, you can try to answer the questions given here. What constructive suggestion can you give to improve the learning program of a rural school that follows traditional fixed timetable? What are the practical difficulties a school will come across while following the guiding principles to prepare a timetable? What is the hurdles one likely to come across when preparing a timetable for double shift school? What are the characteristics that define a school timetable? What are the different types of school timetables? What are the principles of timetable construction? Describe any 4 of them. Now, you can refer the books listed here. Organization of School Education, written by Chakrabarti M. and published by Concept Publishing Company, New Delhi in 2005. Secondary School Administration, written by Kochar S.K. and published by Sterling Publishers Private Limited, New Delhi in 2008. Educational Administration, Supervision and School Management, written by Mohandi J. and published by Deep and Deep Publications, New Delhi in 2005. School Administration and Organization, written by Mishra R.C. and published by APH Publishing, New Delhi in the year 2007. Thank you for watching this program. We can meet again with another topic. Have a nice day.